if I could go off the board a little, you made me think about something here. Uh, uh, so this century, like you mentioned, the Yankees only are given credit if they win the World Series, and it's their paradigm. It's the Steinbrenner model, championship or bust. Would you rather have the Yankees 2000s or the Red Sox 2000s?
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. That's
The Red
funny.
Sox have the four championships, and I think championships are the most important thing. But
Yeah.
there's also just a lot of like last place finishes, incredibly bad years in there. The Yankees pretty much haven't played a meaningless game in this century.
Right.
Have a championship in 2000, if you consider that this part of this century, and obviously one in '09. While the since '04, the Red Sox have the four championships. Red Sox are kind of like the football giants. If they get close, they actually win the Super Bowl or a championship, but they're kind of not great all the other times. Uh,
Right.
who would you like if you were a fan? Would you rather be a fan of the and get the four parades, but there's a lot of miserable seasons, or have it matter every
I,
day?
I think it mattering every day is better. That makes the Yankees special. They haven't had a losing season since 92, I think it is.
Three.
So
Oh, no,
93,
two. No, no, you're right. You're
92.
right.
Right. So it's been a long well, in either case, it's been more than 3 decades since they had a losing season. I think I'd rather have that, but it would be nice to have those three extra championships, right? To see you have a nice round 30 championships. That wouldn't be bad, but I don't think the Yankees would put up with last place finishes. I do think if there were multiple last place finishes, they would have more changes than they have had. I think there would be more upheaval. Although
Yes.
obviously Hal is generally against upheaval, but you wouldn't have a general manager who's been in there for since 1998. I think he's been in there a long time, longer than any other general manager, and he's had a winning season every year. So there's something to be said for that. Got to
John,
give him credit.
you mentioned earlier the passion in Boston for the Red Sox. I mean, I do think one of the things is they are the only game in town. Like here, you do have the Mets, multiple teams in every sport, and it's just like they and Fenway Park is, they still draw even when they do poorly. I kind of think part of the thing would be if the Yankees had a last place season, I think they'd bleed hundreds and hundreds of thousands of fans, which would change their business model to some
Sure,
degree.
when I was a kid, they would draw 1 million, right, or less.
Right.
I think. I mean, obviously there were fewer people, less interest, maybe, but and you could watch the games on Channel 11 very easily. Maybe that made a difference. I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right. The fans in Boston are pretty diehard, so uh, they'll be with them through thick and thin, and that's what it's been for them: thick and then thin and back and forth again. So yeah, it's interesting. Half the people would say they'd rather have the championships, and half would say they'd rather have the consistent winning teams. But
And I think
I
we
think it's
split
nice to
along.
have the consistent winning teams. I'm not against it.
Yeah, I think you and I create the 50-50. I think I'd rather have the championships and deal with the misery when it's bad because just the
Yeah.
championships are so,
Yeah.
so forever.